Let's see.
I keep them higher than an airplane tire. No consumer nigga, I said what you buying. This ain't for everyone, you might not wanna try this. Raised in the jungle where I survive with the lions. These boys and killers, most my partners hyena. Hard on these bitches, I'm known for Ike and Tina. Don't want no problem, but keep a black by my penis. 2 O's, 2 hoes, that's a gift of arenas. Yeah, I'm back up on the bullshit. Separated from the game, never could divorce it. See, I never could avoid it. Motivated by the days that I couldn't afford shit. Got out my ass and went to get it. Dismissing calls from bitches calling trying to kick it. Dismissing niggas like they never did exist. Don't hit my phone, I'm on the money making mischief. If we ain't getting money, what we doing?
What we doing? What we doing?
If we ain't getting money, what we doing?
What we doing?
If we ain't getting money, what we doing?
What we doing? What we doing out there, people? What are we doing out there?
If we ain't getting money, what we doing?
What we doing? Alright, y'all. What up? Today's sports show. This is 4/6/2017. We are live in D-Town. I can't even get my camera right. We're gonna get it right. And we're gonna have a good time today. Talking a little bit of sports, man. So today was kind of a slow day in sports. You know, it wasn't too much going on. The Masters started today. I guess yesterday we did have the Cavaliers. They clinched. I think they already clinched and the Golden State Warriors, they clinched their spot, home court throughout the playoffs. So we had a few things going on or whatever. It's been pretty good, day in sports, I guess. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move up into our first couple topics. Today. Let's see what we got for y'all today. And then we're going to have some callers today. We're going to have some people to come in. I know my audio is explosive right now. I can see it right now. There we go. We're going to have to cut this right here down a little bit. This is up a little too high. Alright, I think that's about good. That's good right there. Alright. Alright, today's topic. Oh, and shout out to Smoke Cliff with that song, man. That was a nice little song. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna hit that a few times through the thing, man, because that's what we out here doing. Really, we try to get better. Everybody at their jobs right now, getting their work on, getting their struggle on. The struggle continues. You just keep your struggle going and pair with mine, and we're gonna get through. All right. So let's see where we at. All right. We got. All right. So we had Russell Westbrook, and we had Russell Westbrook. Barely missing a triple double. Barely missing a triple double last night. He barely missed it by one board last night. Well, I guess this is a good topic because we're looking at like whether he going to win the MVP. He's actually putting up a great case to a certain extent. He's almost convincing me, even though I had already kind of put restrictions on it. I just didn't think that an MVP should come from a team that's not in the top four. It's pretty hard for me to think that if you're carrying a team in the top four in your conference, let alone the top four in the whole NBA, so I'm kind of partial to Russell Westbrook. I mean, James Harden. James Harden handles his business, man. He does his thing. He's the only thing is that you can look at realistically is Westbrook is averaging 2 more rebounds, which is an amazing stat in itself as a guard, averaging that many rebounds. But how much is that going towards winning? Your guard averaging 10 rebounds, like, you should be in the top. You actually should be another big man that's should be able to come along with a little bit more, and it should be 2 people on the team averaging 10 rebounds. Like, it looks like nobody's rebounding on the team. I don't want to take nothing from him, but to me, Harden is that dude. Harden has he just got the best thing going. So, man, we can get into a couple deep topics today. One of our topics is going to be, and we might just get that a little down or low. All right, we're gonna get into a few little deep topics. Okay. So we're gonna go, since we let the Masters in, we're gonna go to the Masters. All right. So we have Tiger Woods. We got the Masters coming up, and and every time one of these major tournaments come up, it just gives everybody the opportunity to reflect over still the most popular athlete in golf. And he hasn't won anything in 4 years or whatever. They did a polling. They did a bit of polling probably. Last week we looked at one in ESPN, and they were showing like the most popular athletes. And Tiger Woods was realistically the only one in the top 50. He is still the most, lightning consuming type of person. If he had played the Masters, it would have been 10 times the coverage it was this time, and it's just known that way. So but realistically, what I was doing with this one, we were looking at an article, and most people don't know this because golf is not topic that people cover very much. But the Masters was a course that was, it was the same course, and that was what was actually special about the Masters. The Masters course never changed, so you could always compare eras. So you could say, okay, well, Mickelson did this on this course, Tiger did this on this course, whoever else from whatever era. And so Tiger, so he just had an article that was revisited on golfdigest.com. And in the article they were talking about, we're going to pull the article up in just a second. In the article they were talking about the fact that they wanted to kind of just Tiger proof the courses. So I'm reading from this article in Golf Digest, and actually the title of the article is Tiger Proofing Augusta. And I'm gonna start about and then I'll start right here. It says the cathedral in the Pines just got trashed by a 21-year-old kid who won't turn 50 until 2025. He's just getting comfortable at Augusta. It's time to fire up the bulldozers, build the strip malls on Washington, buy the strip malls on Washington Road, move the poverty lines, and redesign the place. Thought that was interesting in talking about moving the poverty lines. Grow the rough, add some more forced carries, dig some pot bunkers, bring in Pete Dye, road ties, and the island greens. Tell Tom Fazio to quit tinkering and get serious. Augusta National needs the full mental overhaul. It needs U.S. Open vegetation, or it's going to be a one-man tournament until Tiger Woods gets bored and decides to take up baseball. Tom Watson says leave it alone. Let's see what this young man can do. But there are players who foresee this as a trend. The first time was historic. The next 19 could get a little repetitive. I think they've got a dilemma here, said Nick Price. If they don't make a set of Tiger tees 50 yards behind us, he'll win the next 20 jackets, says Kesper Parvnik. It was another point in this article where they were talking about that he was driving 360 yards. He was averaging 360 yards to drive, and 330 yards to drive, and the closest person was at 300. But you could see how that was a huge advantage. So they pretty much start making all the courses at that point towards they would so that it would take out the advantage of the long ball. For a long time it was just like you just wanted to have somebody that could drive 300 yards consistently, and it was just a big thing, and everybody loved those players that could drive the ball consistently. And then you had a monster to come in that you can only imagine how far he actually could hit it if he was at that age, how far he could hit it if he was averaging 320. Realistically, he was probably maxing out everything he could. If he had more straightaway, he probably would have averaged 400 in his prime. But just to hear them with the language of talking about changing the course, and of course, eventually they did go ahead and start changing the course, where he had a stretch where he had won 3 out of 5. And then they after they changed the course, I think out of the next 5 years he may have won 1. And I think he still ended up having 4 or 5 jackets, green jackets. So it's what it is. He did, but it's just wondering where in that short period of time, if they did not change those courses, what would his numbers be at? But Tiger Woods is done right now. Becky beat all of the golf out of him, and that is something. I mean, my God, Becky. I just want somebody to talk to me and tell me a situation where a sister could attack anyone with a weapon, a bat, a club, anything like that, and break this man back, a professional athlete, and because he was cheating, she walks away with no problem. I mean, that's domestic violence all the way around. Like, she's supposed to be the poster child for domestic violence. Man, I think they've downplayed the butt whipping that he took that night, and the ramifications that he had, with his back and everything from that. But all I say is all y'all sisters out there, don't try it. Don't try it, man. They got a nice spot for you, man. You think you're gonna get $500 million, man. That's what you're gonna be counting to in jail. So now, just moving on. That was just wanted to do that because because the Masters were coming up. Masters, big thing used to be, I guess, the biggest thing, I guess, in sports. I mean, it used to be the biggest thing in golf. I'm not necessarily sure about that right now. All right, moving on to our next topic. I have this discussion. This is a show that I'm bringing discussions that I had that I encounter. I actually am like I like to listen to people having discussions, and that's where this show came from. I go to barbershops and I listen to discussions people have, and I like to bring topics up that may be talked about there, but you will not get anywhere else. So the next topic is, why aren't wide receivers and running backs enthusiastic toward playing with athletic quarterbacks? This is a question that I heard somebody saying in the shop the other day when I got the little edge up. I don't know. It's very interesting to me. Every time that you have one of the top receivers come out and they have their wish list, it never has any of these guys. I would think I would rather be with somebody like a Russell Wilson or Cam Newton, and the average passing yards down the field is 20 plus yards down the field. They're throwing the ball down the field. That's realistically how you stay healthy, to be honest with you. Them 7-yard passes get you killed. Them 7-yard passes, and I don't know why y'all gonna stop wanting to sacrifice for the team, but I don't know. This one, it's just interesting. I don't know why. With what's going on in basketball, I don't understand why there hadn't been a group of guys like Wade and LeBron and Chris Bosh that would get a group together. I would be thinking that Cam Newton, Adrian Peterson, and let's see, Antonio Brown would be trying to click up and look here, man. Let's destroy the record books. You know it can be done. You just got to get a group together, because and you have to have that magic in the bottle, because you really need everybody to come in at one time, because they're not going to give you much time. As you can see, with that style, they 1 year they'll be running it, and the next year they won't. And me, I would make you stop me from doing something, and then once you try to stop me, I would figure out how to compensate for my like. And that's the thing is you have to be, you have to kind of work together. But I don't know. That is a good question. Anybody else out there that got an answer for that? As to what it is why is it you don't see that in why you don't see that in football? I have no idea. But it is actually is a good question. I'm start actually giving these people their props on the questions that they're asking, because a lot of these questions actually come from different people that just sending me questions. So if you want to, you can definitely send me questions. Actually, today we're actually taking calls, so so numbers up at the top. If you want to give a call to call in and comment on anything, or just raise another topic, we are free for that. We free towards that right now. Whenever you're ready. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right. The Cleveland Browns got the first pick, and they do not know what to do with it. I have no idea. If they weren't the Cleveland Browns, I would say take Deshaun Watson. But because I like Deshaun Watson, and I don't want to see his life for a spiral downward out of control, I wouldn't like to see him in Cleveland, man. Like it's some franchises you just don't want to go to, man. You can say whatever you want to. They still trying to turn the Clippers around, man. What's going on with that? It's some franchises. I'm sorry. If I was actually being a connoisseur of sports, as I am right now, I don't know. I would. I think that they. You just have those franchises that are trash, and they gonna continue to be trash until the management changes, and the management never changes. So, why go to if you can work for Microsoft, why be working at paper copy? It's what it is, that's about the comparison. Actually, the Patriots to the Browns is more like let's see, Microsoft to I don't know, the Chilling Factory down there in Elan. I don't know. Anywhere. It is the Patriots. I mean, the Browns are just horrible. They're horrible. I wouldn't put anything behind them. I wouldn't. I would pull a Peyton Manning, and nobody's done that since. And it's very strange to me why they wouldn't. But I'd pull a Peyton Manning, man. I would tell the Browns, I will not play for you. I will not play for you. I'm gonna go anywhere but over there. It's surprising. Eli Manning is the only one that was able to pull that off, where he actually told the team that he wasn't going to. He didn't want to play. He would retire his first year if they drafted him. And but I guess most of the people that are trying to get drafted first, to be honest with you, they they ain't got $1 million and don't know nobody got $1 million. His brother already was in there. His dad was in there. He could have waited a couple of years if he had to play for the team he wanted to. So it's different circumstances, different. They knew he was serious, and he probably would have sat out and not played for them. So, but so I hope that the Browns, take a defensive player or something. Matter of fact, they should just trade their pick. They ain't gonna do nothing with it. Trade it to somebody that will do something with it. Let the Carolina Panthers take your first pick this, because good Lord, they need it. But they'll mess it up too, because they destroying that team right now. So, Cleat, this is all right. Now let's see. We're gonna moving on. We got we got Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman going to the Patriots. What do y'all think about that? Richard Sherman going to the Patriots. I understand, man. Belichick much rather kill an ant with a sledgehammer than with a fly swatter or something like that. They end up with Richard Sherman and Tom Brady will repeat for the first time in his career, and we will all jump up and praise and bow down to whatever the league wants to have going right now. But the Patriots will win right now. I'm just giving y'all this prediction. I hadn't decided on who they're gonna beat in the NFC. Realistically, y'all probably listen to the best sports prophetic speaker. So if you out there betting, you hear me say it, it's probably gonna happen, man. I have picked the Super Bowl winner for 4 consecutive years, and actually picked the runner-up 3 consecutive years. I didn't. The damn Cowboys let me down. Cowboys let me down this year. I wouldn't dare pick them this next year. I know that team is finna go down. Romo gonna be sitting at the house taking majority of the money for the Cowboys. So, yes, with the question was, would Richard Sherman make the Patriots a Super Bowl lock? For sure, the Patriots are a Super Bowl lock if they get Richard Sherman. But they pretty close to a lock right now, because they got deep threat receiver. All he's gonna do is pretty much clear up the middle of the field for Gronkowski to Gronk you to death. And then the second that you keep coming up on Gronkowski, he's gonna beat you over the top. Y'all can give it up. And the Patriots defense is, nobody ever says anything about their defense. Every year they've won, they had a top 5 defense. This last year, realistically, before then, all the other times they won, they had a top 3 defense. So that's normally what's going to make it happen. The defense, and then whatever your offensive game, being able to move the ball. People say run game, but it's just being able to move the ball consistently. Can you go out and consistently get 5-6 yards when you need it? And the Patriots can do that, and they will. They spread you out. They spread you out with all those receivers, multiple tight ends, and nobody has 3 corners. Nobody has 3 corners that can cover, and a safety that can cover. You got a problem or a matchup problem out there somewhere, and they're gonna exploit it. All right, for those Cowboys fans, again, we're gonna go back to another Cowboys topic, and we're talking about Tony Romo. And y'all Tony Romo fans out there, man. Y'all see the people crying, man. If you saw anybody with tears in their eyes the other day, point them out. I'd love to talk to him, man. I would love to hear a Tony Romo fan, and somebody could tell me, how he's gonna make the Hall of Fame and Terrell Owens isn't. But it is exactly what is going to happen. Tony Romo, I think he's just a good quarterback in this era, man. He's just about average. It wasn't a lot to look forward to because the degree of difficulty in the NFL for how they dropped the scheme, as far as how you're forced to play in the NFL. And it's only forced because there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. It's realistically. We watched this thing in we've watched NBA, really NBA go in cycles. At one point, everybody's going fast, and then everybody slows it down, and then it goes back to the cycle. And we're headed into another fast period, basically, in basketball, where everything is going to be more up tempo, and the offenses will get faster and faster every year, as you've seen. But there was a time, I guess, when people didn't think Magic could win running the ball up and down the court, fast like that. Some may say call it jungle ball that he was playing or whatever, but that had some racial slurish implications in it or whatever. But there were people that didn't believe he could do that, and then he came into the NBA and won 5 titles running, running a fast break, running fast every time you get the ball. So like I said, we're seeing a new era. This is realistically, this is the Steve Nash era is what I call it. a fast-paced era. Everybody's doing the same thing that Steve Nash did everybody's doing the same thing of finding the weakness on the team and switching. But as far as Romo is just only good. I don't even want to get into any stats on this man. He's pretty good. I mean, like the era that he came up through, it was a lot easier to get yards, and all they did is throw the ball through this era in football. There had never been, probably 10 years ago, there had never been a quarterback in his rookie season to throw for 4,000 yards, and I think we've had 3 in the last 10 years, 4 rookies to come in and throw for 4,000 yards. So it's just an era of pass. So I don't the numbers like the fact that he has better numbers than the guy that won the Super Bowls with the Cowboys, Troy Aikman. He has better numbers than Troy Aikman, and I don't think he can carry Troy Aikman's jockstrap. Troy Aikman is, in my opinion, 10 times the quarterback he was, and probably would have put up better stats than he's putting up in this era, because he wasn't asked to throw a lot. They ran the ball a lot, and so man, I can't wait till he gets on the Hall of Fame ballot. But as far as the job he's going to take on television, he's going to excel at that. And I'll tune in to see Tony Romo. I think Tony Romo is actually he's an interesting guy, and I would watch him on there, because it had gotten pretty stale anyway on those NFL shows. They need to shake it up, bring some young blood in there, and they have tried to try comedians, but I think they haven't tried the right comedians. There's some other people. Let Dave Chappelle let Dave Chappelle be on Monday Night Football. It'd be the most entertaining show every night. They just haven't chosen the right entertainers when they did bring in comedians, and they brought in failed political people or whatever. So they've done a lot with those shows. But Romo should do a good job. I look forward to seeing him. Glad he's not on that team, because you never could depend on it. You never could depend on what he was gonna do. You never could depend on what he was gonna do. And we're going back again. Let's see who's the NBA MVP. MVP. Who is it? I'm probably gonna go with for the MVP this year. I'm going with Harden. We already discussed it. I'm going with Harden. So yeah, Harden is that dude. Well, let's. All right, y'all. I think it's time. I enjoy y'all, man. I enjoy doing this. I hope that y'all subscribe. Fill out the page. Call in. I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed.
Dismissing calls from bitches calling trying to kick it. Dismissing niggas like they never did exist. Don't hit my phone, I'm on the money making mission. If we ain't getting money, what we doing? What we doing? If we ain't getting money, what we doing? What we doing? If we ain't getting money, what we doing? What we doing? If we ain't getting money, what we doing? What we doing?